Alright, well I've had the truck running now for about an hour to recharge the 6 batteries in the back that I've been using for house power. So it's now about time to shut it off. As you can hear from the squealing sound, I've got to replace the belts. They're probably going to give out pretty soon. The wind was blowing pretty hard, so we've got snow on the inside of the cab now. Alright, here is the switch and ammeter for the back. The gauge goes up to 16 amps, which is conveniently what the truck is actually able to put out with a 60 amp alternator, 28 volts, which amounts to about 1.5 kilowatts of power. As you can see, it's putting out around 50 amps or so, and this little switch here is what we use to switch the battery bank charging system to the back on or off. We've got a battery isolator which is how we do that. So when it's to the left, it's charging, when it's to the right, over the top of the gauge, it's disconnected. So we can do that. And since there's no more load really on the alternator, the squealing goes away because the cables don't have to put very much energy at all through it. Alright, so now just shut it off. Put that right there. Flick off the fuel pump. And stop. There we go. Alright, another important step for using the deuce is after you run the engine, you have to drain the air from the system. So I do that with the trailer connectors on the back of the deuce. You take off this little protector cap, which opens up that, and then there's a lever under here that you pull. And it is quite loud. So once it gets pretty low, we just turn it off and seal the valve again. There we go. And we put this little lever back on. There we go. Alright. Now, as far as getting in the back, where I'm going to connect another charger, normally we have that ladder right there, but for right now, I'm just going to climb in. Okay, so now we're inside the deuce. And there's lots of stuff on the floor because I can't have anything on the desk, otherwise it would fall off whenever I move the truck. So this is the inverter right here. It can put out 900 watts of modified sine wave power from the battery bank, or about 30 amps off the batteries, 28 or so volts. These are the batteries. There are 4 down here and 4 behind, or 2 behind, sorry, for a total of 6. Those 2 outlets in the switch are always on shore power. Whenever that orange light is lit up, it's getting electrical power from somewhere outside the vehicle, either through the umbilical or off of this little inverter, which we use for starting the bigger inverter if we are on the road. Safety is a goal, so we have a little breaker right there, and we've also got a fuse up at the front with the ammeter switch for charging purposes. I believe it's a 60 amp fuse. This is our breaker box. This is plural. And so now I'm going to hook up a car charger, which can charge the batteries at 15 amps at 12 volts. So I have to do one set of 12 volts, which is 3 batteries, and then the other 3 batteries after that. So this will take all night. I've got the car charger connected now to the shore power by the orange switch, and then connected to one set of batteries. All the batteries on the left, all 3 batteries are on one set of 12 volts, and this other side is on another setup of 12 volts. Together they get 24 volts, which powers the inverter and can be charged from the main alternator. As you can see from here, we're at about 12.6 volts
which conveniently can be switched to there, which is it gives it in percent, so we're at 85% or so. I kind of doubt that, so we're going to go ahead and charge the batteries at 15 full amps. So that's going to take many hours to charge back up, as the total capacity is somewhere in the neighborhood of 350 amp hours. Over here on the outside of the deuce, on the driver's side, we have our power hookups. I just have 2 extension cords running through what was once the ground. There's now about 3 feet of snow. We have the incoming power hookup to that gray box over there. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. And then underneath that I have, let's see, another electrical jack for the power going back to the house. So as long as the house has power, this truck is kind of irrelevant, but once the power goes out, it's an instant kick over, turning off that battery bank that you just saw. Running at full blast, it's got about 9 hours of power or so. Running at less than full load, it can run much longer. And we can use the alternator to charge the battery like we were doing earlier, as well as powering the load just directly off the alternator. So yeah, this is the truck.